Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer will talk about the basics of CT side. Yeah, quickly I just want to mention that I've already made a guide for T-side, and in that video I went through a lot of the basics of the game, so if you also want to, I guess you could say, start from the ground on up, you should look at that video and then this one. Alright, so from there on, we are gonna take a look at CT side, and at CT side you're basically playing as the opposition of the T side, in which you need to play like the opposition. We got two sides here. We got the B side, which is a place in which it's very hard to retake or take in general, I guess you should say, and then we have the A side, which is incredibly open, from that perspective on, easier to take, but also, well, harder to keep in that sense. So that is why we play in general 3 players at A and 2 players at B, because you know, by numbers it's a little bit easier for 2 people to keep this. Excuse me. So yeah, from there on, I just want to delve into a little bit of the basic tactics of CT side and the first rounds. So in the first rounds, it's very important that a lot of people, they buy a couple of nades, a couple of people buy full armor so that they can be able to take a proper fight, and a little bit of a beating by bullets in arms and legs and shit like that. Even though, again, they can still be gushed and, you know, like hit 90 in the neck, and they can be one shot in the head. But that's a first round. But also, there need to be one guy at least that has bought a kit. So I'm just gonna pretend that I want to play A site right now, and I'm just gonna do a standard buy. Keep in mind that you only have 800 whenever you begin the first round. So you want to buy a kit. Then you got a lot of options, but you cannot proceed 400 monies, okay? So I could, for example, buy 2 flashbangs. That will allow me to blind the enemy a little bit and play with them in that sense. I could buy 1 flash and 1 decoy. That will give me 1 fakey and 1 real flash, which is actually a little bit nice. Or I could just buy 1 smoke or 1 grenade, or I could buy 1 P250. And that's about it. Like, that's what you're limited to then. So I'm going to here buy 1 smoke grenade, and we're gonna pretend that the enemies are just gonna run. They're gonna run through these places. They're gonna run through the suicide place right here. That's called suicide. Then when passing palm tree, and now they are running on the catwalk. Now they're on short right here. And here we got, you know, I don't fucking remember what they call this. There's a lot of callouts for it. You could call it plateau for all the fuck I know. But anyways, now we are at the A site, just about. So here at A site, if I want to like suppress those enemies, what I can do is just to run up here, basically, like pretty fucking basic. So I'm just gonna do that quickly here. So let's say I spawn right here. That means that I should just run up here. Now there are 2 ways you can approach this if you are a new player when you get here. You can either like jump prone up here and move forward, and then you just twitch and jump and move forward, and you get up here really fast. So the better you get, the better you can like do this kind of stuff. Obviously you can miss here and there, but you know, the general conception is to be able to get there fast. So when you've done that, like, I'm just mentioning that because it allows you to go short if you want to go short instead, or if you're gonna do anything at short, easier. You can also just toss a smoke there when you get here, or you can actually like push further on and do the fight from there on. Like, you can actually be close. Let's see if I can line it up through the smoke. Like, you can actually just regularly walk all the way around here, and then you can like toss a right-click smoke there if the enemy doesn't rush. That's gonna be very simple. But the main thing here is to delay the enemy so that it gets harder for them, or so that they cannot rush the sites at all. Because you're defending after all, and defending, it's not as easy as it should be on this this game right here. Alright, so that's just a basic little strategy here for going on the A site. From there on, you should just keep in mind what I mentioned in the previous video. You should play by cover, you should play by your own advantage, and you should not take too many stupid fights. In this game here, taking a long range fight will in general be very stupid, but if you know that you're accurate with the USP, for example, you are a little bit more accurate, you can actually try and go for like a couple of peek shots here down into the pit and stuff like that. You can see if you can be able to pop maybe 1 head, but you should not expose yourself too much, because if 3, 4, 5 guys are rushing there or here, you are in a lot of fucking trouble. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. From there on out, you should just play very defensively and try and get information. Information can be gotten in a lot of different ways, in which is why I'm gonna buy a little flashbang here. So let's say that you bought 2 flashbangs and a smoke grenade, which is gonna be 3, 4, 5, 6, 700. Then you only have your USP to work with, and you're gonna go long. So you run up here, You can do the strafe jump, but that is a little bit more difficult to do. You should just run around here, and here is the point in which the enemy could be throwing flashbangs. There are two ways to avoid these. You can hug the wall here, but the flashbang can still actually pop you in the face, so that's a little bit risky. I recommend to actually just run across these lines here, and then just turn around here. And when you get here, the flashbang should have popped, or you should turn around when the flashbang is popped. Like that, you get a notion of that, and you get to understand that as you play the game on. But then on, you can actually just bounce the flash at the roof there, and you will effectively blind anybody that are standing here, or delay them. But a cool thing that you also can do is to toss the flashbang, then peek to see if there's anything there. That is, by the way, very valuable, because in this game, there's like any information that will actually give you a lead. So from there on, you're not only showing yourself, but you're actually, so to speak, baiting the enemy. Because if the enemy is very unaware of the flashbang and or is greedy and or is sucky at the game, you can effectively bait him into looking at the flashbang, which is very effective for you. So yeah, just toss the flashbang and it will blow approximately there if you just stand like here and bounce it. You can also like do it more wide, but I don't really recommend that because they get a little bit more cover from the door. Anyhow, when you're at that point, you should do the fight. If you win or lose the fight, you should proceed from there on. It's very important to keep long so that you can try and milk out information from the enemies. By doing that, you should try and like play very lurky here, take the fight maybe, or maybe not take the fight and make him run into your head. Yeah, by the way, aim at head level. That way he can like literally run into your shot here, or maybe if he's moving around here, you should aim like a little bit more out, and then you're like boop, pop him in his face. If he's standing at the blue crate there, you can like shoot him as he's coming up there. So it all depends on the situation and what the enemy could or will do. Like a lot of enemies play different, so you should just keep heads up on that. But if you're able to keep and take this site here though, which effectively can be, you know, easily done with the smoke here, you should sneak around here and just camp, because sound horning in this game is actually very beneficial. If you stand here and if you lurk around, if you move here, you can easily hear everything that is happening around here. If you look on the minimap, like you can easily hear everything that is going around all the way around here. So just keeping this spot will give you information so that you can understand whether or not the enemy is doing a fakie, or if there's like a lurk player going, or if they're actually rushing short. A lot of different things there. So just keep that in mind whenever you play the game. The same goes for any area in the game. Like if you're on short, you can easily hear what the hell is going on at middle. If you are at middle, you can easily hear what is going on at middle, catwalk, and the tunnels. And if you are at B right here, you can hear if anybody's close up here. But right here, standing close to the crate at car, it will also be easy for you to like hear what the hell is going on in tunnel. So just keep that in mind and play by those strategies. Not to mention you should play defensive. And lastly though, I think I should just go through like a lot of the basic stuff that you can do at most places. A very nice strategy, by the way, is to, in general, whenever you play Dust 2, it's to bank a smoke off here so that it will... okay, I just butchered that really, but the main point is to smoke off middle. That way, the enemy does not know how many went B or how many went A. They also will not be easily able to snipe anybody that are running around here, but again, you're also cutting yourself off from watching anybody running here at middle. Yeah, I should also address that. The terrorists, they should rush in a lot of case scenarios. If they, for example, get a very good spawn from long or B, or if they spawn in the middle, they could just run suicide. Like, it all depends on the information you get. So if the guy is rushing, like if your team is rushing long, you are actually looking suicide here, and you both hear and see nothing, then you a lot faster will get the information, both of you. And if you like talk to each other, you'll find out that it was actually just a B rush. If it's not a B rush, you should still just stand by, because then they're gonna try and execute something in which there could be mistakes they're doing. So just playing the game a lot will allow you to, you know, just bypass and wreck them in that case scenario. Anyhow, yeah, it's very important to just do those kind of things. But I was gonna go through a lot of the basic stuff. One of the basics is to, on this map, to cut off their information at middle. That way they can't snipe you. That way it's harder to just shoot people when they're passing by. The very best snipers in the world, they can actually shoot you when you're passing by here at max speed. Like, it's really difficult to successfully do that, but they can. So, just a rule of thumb, smoke this stuff off here so that the enemy doesn't get any info. Other than that, you should just try and be as quick as possible in a lot of case scenarios. Like, if you're gonna go B, you could smoke it off, or you could just throw one flashbang, and you could pistol them down, or you can just throw a smoke. You can then, oops, I clicked the wrong key. You can also buy a frag grenade, which you can, like, run and toss in there, like, however you like. Keep in mind how smokes work, by the way. when you go into it, it quickly blocks all your sight, but it fades really slowly. So maybe if you want to play B-side on this map, it could be better and more beneficial to play the P2000. Or if you're in general playing around the smoke place in which they could rush, running a P2000 would be beneficial as well. I mean, it has more bullets in the magazine, it's not as accurate, but it doesn't matter if you're playing up close. And not to mention, it has more bullets in total now, because the patch was fixed, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, from there on out, you should just play the sites as they are. It's hard to retake B. It's very easy to take A, but it's also more heavily guarded, in which, you know, fakies are more dangerous for that site. From there on out, it's just in general easier to play B if you already have it. So yeah, you should try and play by the advantage of the cover and whether or not you get the information. And from there on, just play the game a lot. Maybe watch a couple of the other guide videos I have. There are going to be 2 pictures in the end of this video that you can just click on in order to lead you towards a couple of those. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with a lot of the basics. I mean, the T side that I mentioned earlier, it actually covered a lot more than I initially thought, like a lot more of the basics of the game. Yeah, so you should look at that if you don't think that this video was fulfilling enough when it comes down to getting better at the game, because you just need to try and, you know, practice at it and play a lot. That is essentially the best way of getting better at the game. What else is there to mention? I'm gonna make probably 4 more videos, 2 for T-side, 2 for CT side. I've already made a couple of videos that are covering just getting better at the game in general, but I will eventually just touch hardcore on every goddamn topic after all of those. So you can stand by for that if you want to get, you know, a lot better at the game and you need some assistance. So anyways, if you enjoy this video and this YouTube channel, you should consider supporting it. You can do that by slapping on a green thumb or become a Patreon, in which you get to partake in a giveaway. You can also donate some skins if you have no way of becoming a Patreon. It's greatly appreciated, by the way. Like, damn it, you people are the real MVPs. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you people later on. Have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play.